Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel, baby. Let's go. As we continue on the season finale, episode 6 for the new Star Wars show on Disney Plus, Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is the final episode, episode 6, and this is my review. This is the spoiler. You've been warned. If you have not seen this show, go watch it and then come back and listen to my podcast, because this is a great Star Wars series. Obi-Wan Kenobi is great, so you've been warned. Let's get into it. With the final episode of the series, with that high action pack, answering all the questions for the Star Wars fans that definitely would please the fans of Star Wars. The whole series, such a good show, making the Star Wars universe, and it's shaping it up in a better way that it needed to be. So, in this episode, we finally seen the final showdown between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, while Reva is turning a new leaf, I should say, and why we see Darth Vader become Darth Vader. So let's start with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi has gotten much stronger. He's gotten better. He's back in his Jedi. He's got the skills. He's wielding the lightsaber like a champion. He's already willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. He's going to make the ultimate sacrifice so Princess Leia and everybody else can get safe and away from Darth Vader. While Reva was obviously going to see good old Owens, aka Luke Skywalker, but that's a whole different topic for the moment. So we'll get back to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Obi-Wan Kenobi's got much stronger with this. And what I really like about this is, from episode 1 to now, you see Obi-Wan getting his ability back. He started off really rusty. He was on. It's like he had 2 left feet. Now he's back on the dance. He's gotten better. He's one with the Force. And when he finally found Darth Vader, they had this huge, amazing battle, and they were going at it. And of course, Darth Vader. This is a parallel moment too. Just like Rey did in the newer Star Wars, she used all her force and raised a bunch of rocks, but she couldn't do it. But Darth Vader did with no hesitation and buried Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then at that moment, there's a defined moment where Obi-Wan was going to give up or push forward. And then he was thinking about everything that Anakin said to him. And then, bam, he remembered about Princess Leia. He was thinking about Luke Skywalker and Owens and Brew. And he was thinking about everybody who believed in him. And he got the building. He pushed those rocks away and went back to fight and beat the shit out of Darth Vader. I thought that was a moment. What I like about that fight scene was just the fact that we finally got to see Obi-Wan get closure. And after Darth Vader got his helmet smashed by a bunch of rocks and boulders and the lightsaber that Obi-Wan hit him with, there was a moment where Obi-Wan was like, hey, I'm sorry, I failed you. And pretty much Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker, told him no, you didn't kill Anakin, I killed. And what was cool was the blue lightsaber lighted up Anakin Skywalker's face, and that was a brief moment, Anakin being Anakin and not Darth Vader. And then when you notice as he's talking, the red light, Darth Vader's lightsaber, showed on his face, and that's where you realize that, oh, okay. And then Obi was like, okay, and then goodbye, Darth, and he walked away. And it, Darth Maul did in the Star Wars Clone Wars, I believe, he was like, Kenobi. Well, Darth Vader was like, Obi-Wan. But what was really interesting in that is you realize Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker, is a little bit mentally he could be like bipolar because of this. He was probably traumatized from obviously getting fucking thrown in the lava and burning and being tortured by the Sith Lords to make him Darth Vader, right? And so he's probably crazy at the same time. But what was really interesting is that was the moment where those two had their moment. It showed you what path they're both going, and obviously Anakin went Darth Vader path, and Obi-Wan went to the Jedi path. And it was such a beautiful moment for Star Wars fans. I just think this is what started the series. This started the futuristic present time of the Star Wars universe, where now you have Kylo Ren and Rey and others, and like the Mandalorian and stuff. Like those two went their ways. This is where everything came to part, and not just all of it, obviously, but I think this was the moment for me where it's like, okay, this answers like one of the biggest Star Wars questions is like, did they all know, or what did Darth Vader know? What did Obi-Wan Kenobi know? And did they ever meet before? Before Star Wars New Hope or Empire Strike Back, shit like that. And they did. They did, and this explains a lot why Princess Leia is the way she is, and this definitely explains why Luke Skywalker is the way, because at this moment, this is the battle. It was not just a battle, but it was also the closure of the moment. So I really liked it, and I really appreciate that. Reva, while that was going on, Reva, obviously she felt betrayed, and it looked like she had a change of heart, but before that, she was kind of like, which was kind of confusing, because I was thinking, okay, so even after she betrayed Darth Vader, after Darth Vader ditched her and left her stranded, she pretty much got stabbed too. She was gonna go get Luke Skywalker, and she was gonna kill Owens and Brew. But boy, Owen's girl, my God, she had fucking guns hitting, like she was like John Wick of the Star Wars universe, like god damn. But she was ready to shoot that broad. But she she was prepared, and they tried to fight Reva as best they could, but at that moment Reva had a change of heart, and for a moment she hallucinated the little girl version of herself, because Luke Skywalker was knocked out, and she didn't kill Luke Skywalker, so she had a change of heart, which I could see the confusion of like, okay, so why did she even do that? Then she brought her back. It was confusing, but it makes sense that in her mind, this is the one last thing she thought she can do to earn Darth Vader is trust and earn the thing that she was owed by them. But then she realized like this wasn't the way. This wasn't really in her heart, and I think she found closure, as well, as confusing as that scene was, but I kind of get it, and I'm not mad at it. I can live with it. I think years on the line, it will just be something people will accept it, how that scene went. Darth Vader again, like, came what he was, and then he was like, he was gonna move on from Darth Vader, and that's what he did. And this to me, this show is the bridge to the movies. This shows like why Darth Vader's was, like I said. So, I mean, I got nothing really else to say about Darth Vader. Leia and Luke Skywalker. In this episode, they show like now Leia has understood at a young age how important this war is, and she's gonna grow up to take on Darth Vader. And Luke Skywalker, he got to meet Obi-Wan Kenobi. He did like the famous thing that people want to hear, "Hello there." So that was pretty cool. What I like about this is it shows you that like, Princess Leia was already well trained for this. Luke Skywalker, he was the one that has no knowledge, no clue of how the Jedi's are at that moment, and this is why when you watch like the older Star Wars movies, Luke Skywalker is the true hero because he went there without knowing nothing about Princess Leia, but he saved her to somebody who had all the knowledge and skill sets, and she still got caught by like Darth Vader and Jabba the Hutt and so forth, right? But Luke Skywalker, he was like the true hero, so they pretty much show why, as brother and sisters, they are well balanced and they both have their parents like personalities and certain traits and talents, of course. So that's what I like about this. This really explains a lot about Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So I really like that. With the ending explaining of Qui-Gon Jinn at the end, where he's the ghost of it, and he was like, Obi-Wan was like, I think I never saw you. And he's like, oh, you weren't ready yet. And I think that meant, like, for Obi-Wan Kenobi, he had a lot of regret. He was upset. He was discouraged. But I think he needed to have his mind clear. And he needed to have closure. Because that's what it was. And now he could see the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. And I thought that was really cool. I didn't think he was going to show up. But I feel like they needed to. And I'm glad that they did. This kind of leaves an opening for season 2. But I don't think they are. Like, what else could they tell the story? But I'm sure there's a lot of stories they can tell about Obi-Wan Kenobi after this. Because you gotta think, like, when you watch, like, the older Star Wars movies, where it was more about Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and so forth and so forth, you know, Obi-Wan was an old man, but that still leaves a gap in the timeline of what adventures was he doing, what was he doing after that. There's still a lot of little stories they could do. So I'm not saying it could be over, but Disney's not saying that either, or Star Wars. But to me, that's like, it leaves an opening. It leaves a big open for season 2. And personally, I would like to. I think, to me, there's, like I said, there is more story to it. I just wonder if they're ever going to. Like, for example, they are doing a season 2 for Loki. Out of all the Marvel shows on Disney Plus, Loki's the one that's actually getting a season 2. Like, they're actually in production, filming, and etc. Like, by the time it's August, they should be doing reshoots, and then by next year, maybe May or something, they should have the show all edited and ready to be promoted and stuff. So far, that's the only show on Disney Plus that's officially getting a season 2. Star Wars, The Mandalorian's got season 2 and got a lot of seasons in, obviously. But so it's not saying they couldn't, but I think they should. But if they don't, I'm okay with that. I think there's other ways they can have that story being told. Like, if you watch the Boba Fett had a lot of Mandalorian episodes with just the Mandalorian. So just remember that. Like, they can do something like that to kind of explain where Obi-Wan Kenobi was doing after that. Like, they got other Star Wars live action shows coming out, so it's not impossible for them to inquire that to do that story. So I wouldn't be surprised, but or they could save it for the movies, obviously. But I think for now, I would say, yeah, I would like to see a season 2, but in my mind, I think they probably won't. So as this episode, definitely giving this at a 1 out of 10. I'm giving this a 10. As the whole show, I'm definitely giving the whole show a 10, like 5-star rating. You know, it was good. Like, yeah, I liked this show. It was really great. As a Star Wars fan, this meant a lot to me. and now I want more Star Wars. So that's my review. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, that notification button, so you can always be up to date with all the latest content. And thank you for listening.